Welcome to Point Blank. I am Daryl.
I'm Amanda. Hello.
And we have with us in our studio Mr. Adrian Tay, who has a deep interest in UAVs. But before we begin, we have prepared a short clip on UAVs for those of you not in the know. Roll it!
What is a UAV? UAVs, or unmanned aerial vehicles, are essentially unpiloted vehicles that can be remote controlled or flown autonomously based on pre-programmed flight plans. UAVs are currently used in a number of military roles, including reconnaissance and attack. They are also used in a small but growing number of civil applications, such as firefighting when a human observer would be at risk, police observation of civil disturbances and crime scenes, and of course reconnaissance support in natural disasters. There is a wide variety of UAV shapes, sizes, configurations and characteristics. But what of UAVs in Singapore? UAV commands like the 128th Squadron were formed in 1988 and has primary roles like the conduct of aerial reconnaissance and battlefield surveillance for army divisions. With focused and ready as its motto, 128th Squadron stands ready to aid the SAF ground forces and intent only on success.
Very interesting. I think the future of warfare is in the robots, man. Okay, Adrian, you've been to exercise Wallaby before, right?
Yes, I went there about like 2 years ago. It's pretty interesting because as you know, Singapore has very limited training space. So Exercise Wallaby actually provides the Singapore Armed Forces with a kind of a large area where the various forces like Air Force and the Army an opportunity to actually hold operations together, proper operations and exercise training.
And this is all about airland integration and all that.
Yes, that's where the Army, the Singapore Armed Forces are heading towards.
So what do you learn?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, you have like so many elements,
Yeah.
So and everybody's trying to talk to each other. So the army is going towards a 3G
broadband.
Not 3G broadband in that sense. The next generation where you have machines and commanders all talking to each other. So what one guy sees somewhere else, the rest of the information is immediately transferred off to the rest of the forces. So everybody knows what this guy is seeing. It's not like you don't have to, in the past, I saw something there, you tell it to somebody. This fella has to relay. By the time he relays the information, it's the scenario has changed.
But I think one thing I can see like that could be a problem is overload of information, because sometimes recently I saw the Super Soldier, and the one from Discovery Channel, the Super Soldier, and he has so much information relayed to him. If you just capture one of these guys, could you then disrupt the whole information flow?
That's a very good question.
Okay, wait. Our news director, Tracy Swa, was recently in Australia for Exercise Wallaby. She had tons of fun with boys and their toys. So let's take a look at the clip.
In order to have precision air or land fire in the battlefield, commanders need superior and precise information on the enemy, and one quicker way is through the use of unmanned aerial vehicles or spy planes. Able to give a bird's eye view of targets, UAVs have been giving a macro view of the battle picture for the SAF. But the latest addition to the military's arsenal, called the bird's eye UAV, is able to give a more micro and localized view of the field. With such real-time intelligence, ground commanders can detect, track and outmaneuver the aggressor. This here is no spaceship. It's the Army's latest eye in the sky. It's called the Bird's Eye Mini UAV. It has a wingspan of about 2.2 meters. It weighs about 5.5 kilograms, which is just maybe about heavier than your regular bag of rice. And this baby here can spot things from the sky from at least 8 kilometers away.
What the guys are doing now is that they are doing the IBIT, initial built-in test for the systems. Once done, the launcher will proceed on to the launch direction, where the mission commanders will then mark out the locations for it to land. And once they are ready with the marking, and they should be good to go. On the ground, the mission commanders will pay 100% attention to the PCGS. On the screen itself, it will be a map and it's a video. It's a live feed from the bird, from the AV itself. The commanders, if spotted any high-value targets, he will report back to the signaler, who will then report back to the high HQ.
Pre-flight tests are conducted before the operations. Unlike larger classes of UAVs, it does not need a runway to launch, but uses a bungee instead. Running on an electric engine, the mini spy plane can be deployed within 20 to 30 minutes. How do you actually know where the plane is actually flying, and how do you actually focus on the targets?
Actually, on the left itself, if you can see on the map, this blue little thingy is flying. That's the location of the mini UAV itself. So on the right itself will be the video, and that's how the mission commanders know where the mini UAV is.
What are the challenges you encounter when you have to actually analyze a screen like that?
When the bird is airborne, it's pretty much kind of simple to control it. Once it's coming in for land and the wind direction changes here and there, we got to change the flight direction where the mini UAV is coming for landing. I think that's one of the challenge that we are facing actually. If we were to see a target, let's say on the live video itself, we'll lower the altitude of the mini UAV itself, and from there we'll try to zoom in slowly, and from there, according to the map, we should know where roughly the target will be. And before the missions, we have to do some map study itself, so that during the flight itself, we won't be too stressed out and be too stressed about where the bird is actually flying.
From what I can see on the screen over there, it seems like a lot of clumps of dust, a lot of clumps of bush and all that. How can you really differentiate and spot the enemy? What clues do you look out for?
Actually, during the flight itself, when you're flying through tracks and those kind of roads, terrains, if we do spot a little bit of like a shadow, black mark, and it's like moving in convoy level, we will hold the mini UAV at that region, and that we will slowly zoom in and check out if is it a convoy, a human movement, or is it a vehicle, and what type of vehicle from there, and we'll continue to slowly zoom in. Even after the missions, we will try to play back the video, and from there we will spot out anything if we have missed out during the flight itself, because during the flight, as you know, the mission commander is kind of the stress level is there, and he might miss out things here and there.
Were you actually previously also a scout before? Do you only just do the UAV, just actually operate the mini UAV? Other
than the UAV, we actually do recce as well. Something like a close-in recce. Close-in recce, you have to walk that little bit further, and that with this mini UAV systems, we can so-called minus away the distance that we are supposed to walk, and that we get to see more. Previously, if we are down at the junction, what we can see is just a view of what the junction is about. But for now, with the bird eye view on top, we get to see a much more space and areas that we can see.
After its mission is accomplished, the spy plane parachutes back to its operators and can be disassembled in 10 to 15 minutes. The plane also has an autopilot feature. A flight route can be programmed into it, and the craft will return to a pre-designated recovery area at the end of its mission. so no need to worry about flying the plane, but just recover the intelligence and the plane and troops can get better information for the battle.
Hey, Daryl, going back to your question about, when one guy gets caught, would that disrupt the flow? I think it's not really a case of disruption of flow. Just imagine you have, what that person does is, he provides a point of information. It's okay, similar to, let me put this analogy, similar to Storm. You've got 4 million people out there. Each of them are citizens.
Like on the grid, is it?
Yes, correct. So you have, instead of just that one person seeing and letting the rest know, you have that whole group that's out there letting the rest know. So in that sense, if you catch one stomper, doesn't mean that the whole storm goes down, does it?
But I think with if you catch one stomper who has access and controls to the rest of the stomp,
like we catch Serene.
Yeah. Okay, no, but Amanda had a question.
It's right. Adrian, like you've had experience like working with UAVs, so like
okay.
No.
I've actually seen them in action. Yeah.
Okay. So how is it different from like say a remote control plane like with a camera mounted on it?
Actually, I mean, if you put it that way, the UAV is actually a very expensive remote control plane with a camera mounted on it. I mean, if you look at the past clip just now, you notice that you have guys in camouflage, which are the army guys actually operating the UAVs. In the past, way before, it used to be only professionally trained Air Force guys who are allowed to operate the UAVs. Now it's gotten to the stage where it's so simple to operate that basically you don't need an extended period of training. You roughly need basic knowledge, basic training, and I think it's relatively easy to fly compared to in the past. But talking about it, there are of course various grades of UAVs. You've got some where it's like for localized reconnaissance as compared to overall country kind of reconnaissance.
And there's a difference between like the price as well, isn't
Correct. It's like it's like maybe owning a motorcycle and a Ferrari or something. So paying more, of course, has more features and stuff.
Okay.
So you can't DIY make your own UAV?
I think in the future we possibly can. I've known of some UAVs that are actually, unlike the one that it's relatively small already, the one you saw in exercise Wallaby. But there are research that's being done that you actually mount it on a styrofoam kind of plane, and you just throw it and it just goes. And it's basically has a very small spy camera there. So it's very relatively cheap. So it's like, when we were playing. Okay, we were not same generation. But
yeah, we're not same generation. So when we're playing, it's like
okay. Those styrofoam air models that you fix and you just throw them.
Oh yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah, the very cheap one you open the paper bag. Yeah. Okay, then I guess same generation.
Okay, they just mount the camera on it. A very small pinhole kind of camera, and it gives you the same job.
Okay, I think it's very cool because this sort of prevents like human casualties and fratricide and all that. So I mean, basically you pay the money, you have a very independent sort of mechanism to go out and do the surveillance for you. But I'm just wondering, is it very complicated in the heat of the battle to
operate?
Yeah, to operate.
I guess in a military situation, you have, being the regimented forces, organization that is, each personnel has its role. So some people are concentrated on just doing fighting, some people are concentrated on gathering information. So you got all those roles marked out. There's not going to be any overlap or information overload kind of thing.
Okay, so there's more like a cross-service integration and hubbing sort of thing, is it?
Yeah, but I mean basically the UAVs are to put people out of harm's way. It's like when they first put they don't go to the moon or Mars immediately. They send a probe over there.
Yeah.
It's all remotely piloted or remotely controlled. So the same thing is here. You don't want to put somebody in harm's way.
So okay, then what happens when let's say if you how much would it cost? How big is the UAV platoon? Let's say to be effective, one person takes a look at it, then he has to relay the information.
From what I gathered, there's same thing. There's various operations that are handled. Just like in flying an airplane or spy plane, you got one person who does the flying, so he's the pilot.
Yeah, is it? I mean, I saw the screen just now on Tracy's video. It looks a bit headache to see. It's all done by GPS, is it? Like all the waypoints.
It depends. Different UAVs are controlled. Have different methods. Some of them require, it's direct radar, so it's like line of sight. And the bigger ones, like the Global Hawk, it's controlled through GPS.
And those are like really expensive. Like
those are really, it's about, I think, the price of a private jet kind of stuff.
Well, so what happens if an enemy catches a UAV and all that? Can they actually hack? I mean, like, if it's all like online and it's all in the air, are you able to hack a UAV? Let's say, is it very safe, or is it so primitive that it's unhackable?
I would think it's sort of unhackable, and usually when they're flying against this, the current enemy is usually the people who do not have that technology to hack inside the system. But looking at it, if it gets captured, the primary aim is there because you don't have a pilot that's being captured. It's just your machine.
Yeah.
So machines are replaceable. It's just a matter of
how much. And plus, if you know where it gets captured at, you sort of know where the enemies are. Yeah. Very interesting.
Let's look at some of the web comments that we have. Singapore Kepo said, I wonder if we have any of the huge UAVs like the Global Hawk. What do you think?
I think I wonder too. But actually, I think we want to talk about more on the emphasis also on the people that are manning like the UAVs. So we're going to go for a short break. When we come back, more on the commanders.